There's always going to be things about us that maybe we don't want to agree with. Maybe there's things we don't like, but that's us, and it's something we learn to deal with, because we're going to be with ourselves for our whole life. You can change how you look, but you'll always be the same on the inside, no matter what.
Didn't ask you to take me from here. I didn't ask to be broken. I didn't ask you to stroke my hair or treat me like a worthless token. But my skin is thick, my mind is strong. I am built like my father was. I've done nothing wrong. So free.
Welcome to Body Talk. Our first guest tonight has overcome a very common but rarely discussed disorder. At first, this lady felt stranded. She spent her childhood with parents who were so unlike her, and towards her teen years, nothing really changed. At the age of 11, this young girl was hospitalized with anorexia, and now she's here to talk, hoping to help anyone who is feeling like she felt, and to save them from falling into the same black hole. Anything to make them feel better. Please welcome Lori Gottlieb.
Hey!
Now, we would love to hear some of your experiences and some of your advice. But first, let's focus on the book, which you named Stick Figure. It's full of your childhood memories, which I believe you found in your old diaries. Please explain.
Well, I guess it was about 7 years ago now. I was at my old house where my parents still lived, and I had gone up to the attic to see if I could find my chemistry notes from high school. See, I was planning on going back to medical school, although I was almost 30, which is pretty old. Anyways, I was flipping through boxes looking for my folders from decades ago, when I saw my diary that my mom had given me. I thought they'd be some combination of embarrassing yet amusing memories, so I threw them in my bag. And for the next few weeks, I sat alone and read them, but I was no longer amused. I was concerned. I never remembered all the details until I read it over again, and by then I had realized that they were helping me remember the value kids and even adults have in their bodies. So now I've shared my past to maybe help some others.
You've sure got our attention. The book provides so much information about your life and just living around the subjects of body image. Now tell us, comparing how you are now to yourself as an 11-year-old, what's changed?
Well, I still asked for dressing on the side, but then again, that's a big improvement from just eating nothing at all and sitting with an empty plate in front of me. My parents, as a child, they were like aliens to me. I always felt like they just wanted me to play with Barbie dolls and be normal. And yeah, I still think that. But now I realize that they're my parents, and they'll always be my parents. And as annoying as they can be, I really can't change them.
Well, isn't that the truth? I understand from reading your book that you spent a while in hospital before the recovery started. Do you remember what turned everything around?
It's the clearest part because it's the one part I love about that experience. I was in my hospital bed and Mom was coming back from picking up some clothes for me. See, I always knew this girl who I thought was so beautiful and so skinny. So after weeks of sitting in the hospital with people staring at me, I finally made my mom a deal. If she brought in a pair of that girl's jeans and they fit me, I would eat. So she brought in the jeans and I stood up and pulled them on and sat them on my waist. They fell right off. I remember my mom broke out crying and my head flipped because I finally understood that I was too thin.
That must have been really shocking for both you and your mum. For your mother to see more proof of your anorexia, and for you to finally notice the reason why you were in hospital.
Absolutely. And if I have kids of my own, I hope I don't have to experience my own daughter going through that. I'm so proud of my mom now for being able to put up with me through everything. We weren't close, and I guess we weren't really friends, but she was my mom and she did take care of me. I just never really appreciated her until I found this diary. And I'm pretty sure she's happy I found the diaries too, because it finally gave her some respect.
You mentioned you didn't want your kids to go through that. In fact, I believe that none of us want anyone to go through that. So do you have some advice to love our bodies no matter what?
You just said it all. We've got to love our bodies no matter what. There are teenagers out there, both boys and girls, who look in a mirror and wish they looked different. Maybe a girl's being told she's fat or a guy's being told he's flabby. But as a teenager, you are growing. And for those years, your weight is one thing you should try not to control. Unless your doctor's told you something different, you're going to put on weight as you grow no matter what. You don't need to exercise all day, and you don't need to skip meals. You need to be healthy in every way so that your body stays alive and happy. See, nutrition affects your brain as well as your body. When you start skipping meals, you start losing memories. Brain cells die because there's nothing to nourish them. Now, I am in medical school now, so I could go on about the scientific meaning, but I'd rather get back to the basics. Teenagers are growing, and they may look up to older women or men, people in hunky and sexy magazines, the girls on the covers that have tits popping out of their shirts, or guys who don't have a six-pack but somehow have a 24-pack. That's possible, but it is slightly unrealistic. Everyone's bodies are different. You're born with what you can handle, and if that means slightly overweight, then you deal with it. That's you, and you enjoy yourself for who you are.
So you are saying that we can all drink smoothies and eat French fries and not have to worry?
Well, the calories are still going to affect your body if you drink up the whole smoothie store, but a well-balanced meal and a couple minutes of exercise can totally balance it out. You don't need to restrict your food intake. You just need to think positive. See, you hear ladies all around the place, and men too, saying, "Do these jeans make my butt look fat?" But thinking positively, do you ever see someone turn around and say, "Damn, my ass looks fine"? Not so often, eh? You try saying it. Next time you're out buying jeans or trying on a new suit, don't think about how the stripes look against your belly. Think about how the stripes flatter your curves, because curves are gorgeous, and bones need to be hidden. Trust me.
I like how you said that, because curves are gorgeous and bones need to be hidden. Thank you for joining us today. And for everyone out there, be sure to pick up a copy of Stick Figure. Thank you, Lori Gottlieb.